I have traveled a lot and I've lived in different parts of the world. I've had the privilege to get to know people from very diverse backgrounds. So I can tell you this with no guesswork at all. The world has a love-hate relationship with America. Maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not, but from first-hand experience, I can tell you that the love-hate dynamic is not only real, it's powerful and compelling. And I've spent time talking and thinking about why that is. And here's what it boils down to: attitude. You can look at actions. America has been a force for good and for decency around the world. But America has also been a catalyst for chaos and dysfunction. You could stop there, or you could look deeper. A deeper look will show you that it's not about actions. Actions matter, but attitude is everything. I can't tell you how powerful it is, and you won't really get it until you're sitting in your car crying in the parking lot outside of work. You won't really get it until things in your life, things you thought were secure, start breaking. Love falls apart, finances are ruined, health fails. You'll understand what I mean when life gets too painful to keep going on the way you've been going on. That's when you start looking at your attitude. That's when you really start to explore what your attitude has been toward love, toward friends, toward trust, toward life. A nation's actions are a reflection of its attitude, and people are no different. People love you or despise you based on your attitude. Yes, they'll praise you or they'll crucify you based on your actions, but those actions are the result of your attitude. I don't need to tell you all the bad stuff that happens because of attitude, but I do want to talk to you about the good stuff, because there's some good stuff that can happen when you know what attitude is all about. I spent years in high school running past a sign that I really didn't understand. It didn't mean much to me for a long time. And anyone who played sports at my high school saw the same sign. It was hanging on the fence around the track and the football field. It was hanging on the walls near the locker rooms. It read, "Attitude is everything." I saw that sign for years, and it was always just a sign until one day at track practice during my senior year. I still remember it. Coach Richards had the stopwatch, and we were running sprints. Sprint 200 meters, walk back and sprint again. He was calling times, and halfway through the set, we were tired. And all I wanted to do was to think about how I was part of a tired group of sprinters who were hoping this exercise would end quickly. I got back into the starting position, and there's Coach Richards. He looked at me and he asked, "How do you feel?" At the time, I thought that was a dumb question because he could clearly see how I felt. I was out of breath. I responded really without thinking, I'm tired. He looked at me and he pointed to the sign. It was just hanging there. Attitude is everything. I got back in the starting position and I was off. Attitude is everything. Attitude is everything. That was what was going through my head as I was sprinting. Attitude is everything. For some reason, it stuck. And as I walked back to the starting point, I was starting to realize that my tired attitude was responsible for what I knew in my heart was a tired performance. I mean, I knew in my heart I could go faster. Don't get me wrong, we were moving fast. But that championship difference, that dig deeper effort wasn't really there. In my heart, I knew I was just doing enough to be competitive, but not to be a champion. Attitude is everything. I changed my attitude right there. I stood up and walked straight. I started controlling my breathing. And this time, I walked back to the starting line with a sense of purpose. I was deliberate. I came to win. This is practice, yeah, but I came to win. That was my attitude. It went from, I'm tired, to, I came to win. The sprint started and I was off. I was in my own world. I was determined to run a time I believed was worthy of my attitude. When I got to the finish line, most of the team was right there with me. I was surprised. But as it turned out, they'd noticed something different about the way I was moving. And these guys were good. I mean, they were good. They weren't going to be outdone. We ran faster times. We ran faster than the previous 6 times. And we finished the rest of the practice running at those times. And you know what else? That time became the new standard for how we'd run that practice going forward. We went on to win a very close second at the state competition that year. What am I saying? Attitude is everything, yes, but why? Attitude determines the standards you keep. Attitude is infectious. You'll be surprised watching people next to you catch it. All of a sudden, a group of uninspired and unmotivated people start catching the radiation coming off your optimistic and determined attitude. All of a sudden, amazing becomes the new standard. And if you ask me, that's the difference between winners and champions. Winners compete, but champions set standards. Attitude is everything. I wonder what sort of standards you're setting in your life. My name is Angelo, and I'm the motivator.